starts now. Well, Mark, that opening makes me want to have a nice tall glass of moonshine.
Yeah, work out of the forge, build some knives with your son.
Yep.
You ever watch that show Forged in Fire?
Oh yeah, man, that's his favorite show. That's why he got into it so much, man. He,
Are you
he builds all
serious?
kinds of he builds all kinds of cool knives. He's working on me a sword right now.
That's pretty funny. Like I put it on and Kate just makes fun of it and she makes me change it.
Oh, he loves that stuff, man. But you know what? There's a lot of skill that goes into that. You really got to know what you're doing to be able to do that.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just funny though. It's like they have the killing test, like will
Yeah.
your blade kill? And then the guy's like comes out there and starts chopping up the thing. Pretty funny. All right. So anyway, what's going on, everyone, today?
Hey, did you
Uh,
see? Yeah, did you see this about the Apple Watch? They're only going to be able to put the basic Apple Watch out in America now.
oh God, the horror. How will
Well,
people
I mean, if
survive?
well, I would think that $200 becomes a ceiling now.
I'm sick of Apple, man. I'm sick of Apple. I'm sick of Google. These companies like run our lives, and no one seems to. It doesn't really seem to bother anyone. You know?
I think it's because it's been so ingrained in us. I tell you what's really scary, man. And I don't know if you saw this or not, but I was watching this Democrat strategist that was talking about the new poll that's going to come out today, and that 66% of the people from 18 to 24 support Hamas and think Hamas is the democratic organization and that Israel is the oppressors. And when you go past that demographic and you look at the people that are in reality that aren't social media influenced, that it's 95 to 5 for Israel. That's scary, man. That we've got a group of kids that has no clue and they're being indoctrinated by these people in these universities. It's just I don't know what the end result is, but it doesn't seem like we're going in the right direction or actually maybe we've already gone too far.
Yeah, I think that it's really kind of sad what is considered an intellectual these days.
Yeah.
And like it used to be like if someone went to Harvard or Yale, you used to think like, wow, this person must be really smart. Now it's like, okay, so you didn't have to put in your SAT scores, you didn't have to put in your grades. Oh, you're gay and you're black. Oh, you're in. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how dumb you are. And I'm sure there's gay black people that are very intelligent, but intelligence doesn't really seem to matter anymore. Yeah, yeah. I just think it's the dumbing down of society. Like ever since Barack Obama came along, where everyone thought he was so smart, he was such a genius. Now, I don't think the guy's stupid, but I would throw his IQ probably somewhere around 120.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
means if
he's
there's
not
50 people in a room, there's four people who are smarter than him.
yeah.
And the dude was the dude got into college because he said he was born in Kenya, which he did. He wasn't born in Kenya, but he said he was, and I know that for a fact because I saw a copy of the first edition of his book, and it says Kenyan-born Senator Barack Obama. Kenyan-born.
Yeah.
Okay, so so he just put that to get into college, and I get it. I understand. I would do the same thing if I could. But yeah, it's just it's like it's like colleges are right. I guess if you get a stupid ass degree, like my niece who I'm excommunicating from my family, her partner got a degree in contemporary dance. Like, what the hell are you supposed to do with that? You know? All right. Anyway,
Well, it's like my kids. I've got two that are well, all of them are in college, but the other two went through the Marine Corps to pay for it. So the other two are just like kind of lost with what they want to do. And then, what I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
all right, all right. Anyway, let's just see what's going on today. Yeah, the market keeps pushing ahead, but let's see.
Oh, it's getting close on Jacks.
We're close, but we're not there yet. All right. Anyway, all right. Let's just go see what's going on in the news here. See if there's anything related to trading.
Had a nice rocket launch last night at 11 o'clock.
Oh, sweet. Tesla wannabes face a cash crunch. Yeah, did you see the Nikola Uh, the guy who's the CEO is going to jail.
Oh yeah, he defrauded the investors a long time ago.
So what's this
Trevor
stock doing?
something.
So this is 82 cents a share. Yeah. So this just goes to show you how, how much hype can do for something. This company probably is worth 82 cents a share. Might even be
Yeah.
worth less. But when all this hype came around, those things just got totally jacked up. So anyway, so S&P, still a little, I think, overextended. But it slowly creeps ahead. So what do? Well, it's the old trading saying is the trend is your friend. So as long as it's trending higher and you're long, you stay with it. But I would say we're at a position where you got to be pretty nimble, because I think if we get some kind of a catalyst to push the market lower, if I can get some kind of catalyst that pushes things lower, I think it's going to happen pretty fast. And I think what we really want to watch for the potential catalyst here is, here is our bonds, our TLT. So we're at the level that had been support, and as we know, levels that were support have a tendency to turn into resistance, right? So you got people who bought their bonds back here, and the price went lower, and they're like, God damn, if it ever gets back up to the price I bought at, I'm going to sell. So that's why we tend to get resistance at levels that were previously support. Now, a bunch of the traders who want to sell might start to notice, oh, there's other sellers coming in here off the sidelines. So if I want to sell, I better decrease the price I'm willing to sell at. Other traders see the person do that, and they all do the same thing, and then you get this snowball effect. And you can see that, like over here, right? We get to resistance and we sell off. We get to resistance and we sell off. And also too, this resistance here is a level that was support here. So this resistance here is a level that was support here. So it's the same dynamics playing out. Anyway, if this starts to get hit, that will push interest rates higher, and that could be a catalyst. The other thing I think we should watch here that's really important is the financial sector, which is now the second biggest sector. It's surpassed healthcare. What's it doing this morning? Just up 8 cents. So that's nothing. I think if we reverse and we break this back through this $37 level, then that'll be a catalyst as well for a move lower. So those are two things to watch. But until that happens, I guess you just got to assume that the market's going to keep going higher. We let the market tell us what to do here. And you can see here, this really just shows you that these certain price levels just happen to be important. So that's 37. We're 37.37 in the pre-market, which may not sound like a huge move, but for this sector, it's kind of big. So anyway, something we got to watch there. And then now we go and check out healthcare over here. Yeah, look at that. So this is what I mean. Sometimes we can get to resistance, and then we just sell right off. So that's what happened here. What sector did I see that was looking at for potential ideas here? All right, so yeah, so here's our material sector, and again, you can see this same thing with, same thing. We get to resistance, and then we sell off. And you can see down here, we get to support, and we rally. And again, people take this stuff for granted because it's really remarkable to me that you get this sector that's worth all this trillions of dollars, and you find these really nice precise levels. So let's go take a look at what is in this particular sector, materials. And I think it's kind of interesting to look in some of these sectors that are kind of off the beaten path, because it's like you could find, for lack of a better term, you could find like your hidden gems, because everyone's looking at Nvidia, everyone's looking at Tesla, right? Everyone's looking at Apple. When was the last time you heard someone say, hey, I bought calls on PPG, or I bought puts on Ecolab? I mean, it's pretty rare or pretty unusual. So let's see, Sherwin-Williams. Yeah, now like right here would be something I would be watching. So if this reverses, I'm not saying it's going to, but if it does, if the material sector reverses, there's been some clear support here for the last 3 days, right around 305, which is your nice round level people like. And then you had this like really fast move leading up into it. So as we know, if we get a fast move going one way and then the price eventually reverses and comes back the other way, we tend to make another fast move back going the other way. So, this thing here could probably lose $10 relatively easy if we reverse. And maybe in the course of 2 or 3 days, I think you could see a 10-point move here. And the options would have to be cheaper than the options for the more popular stuff. So then what else we got in here? Air products. I think they make the stuff like if you ever get the plastic bubble wrap, they like make the air that, well, I don't know what they make the air that's inside it, but they put the air inside it, I guess, somehow. APD. Air products and chemicals. Now this to me, I don't really see much here. Well, look at that. That's new. See how this stuff is not moving? Yeah, they make all these changes on TradingView here without telling people. But anyway, not surprisingly, what have we done? We got to resistance at a level that had been support. Huh. I don't think we've ever... Now look at that. Wow. That's your old little floating island.
Mm-hmm.
Gap up. But this is a perfect example of how gaps refill. So we gapped up, and then the next day we came right back down. And that's because there was no one here selling on the way up who's trying to buy on the way back down. As we know, one of the main reasons why we get support is because you have these remorseful sellers trying to buy their shares back at the same price they sold them at. And when you get a gap up like this, well, it doesn't trade there. So because it doesn't trade there, then by definition, there can be no one there who sold, who's going to be trying to buy their shares back. So this is probably, dead money right here. If we had looked at this on Tuesday, I would have said, let's keep an eye on it. But I don't know if we could have traded it over. You'd have to have traded overnight because it closed here and then it opened here. And, I think it's okay to hold. If you're buying puts, it's like you can hold them overnight. But this trade we probably would have missed because I would have said, well, let's wait to see what direction it looks like it's going to move in.
Yeah.
But that's, that's part of trading. Is that I was actually having a really interesting conversation with my daughter, Ava, because she's like some guy where she works was telling her about cryptocurrencies. Oh, did you listen to the market review last night? Because she was here with me.
No, I didn't get a chance to, man. I just reposted it and did the thumbnail for it.
Anyway, I'm going to turn her into my retirement package.
Good.
Because she's really smart. And I know every parent thinks their kid is really smart, but she really is. And I was explaining this stuff to her, and she got it like right off the bat.
That's
explaining
awesome.
risk management, and she seemed pretty interested because she's into money, man. She's got like $6,000 in her savings, dude. And
That's
she'll still
awesome.
ask me for money, and I'm like, Ava, you got like $6,000. She's like, yeah, but I don't like spending my money.
My kid works 2 jobs and does the same shit to me. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, well, if I have to take it out of my account, it takes it away from me.
All right. All right. Ecolabs looks pretty boring. Don't see much there. Newmont Mining. And then meanwhile, my other one is just friggin', I don't even know.
She's going to be a great vet.
She's crazy, dude. She's been pain in the ass since day one.
Oh, stop.
Even before day one. When we went to have the ultrasound, the guy, the tech is like, hey, man, baby B is going to be a tough one. And I thought he was joking. I'm like, then I realized he was serious. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, look, she won't sit still for the camera. So she's been tough ever since. She had bad colic. I used to get up with her every morning at 3 a.m, like clockwork.
You know what? That colic is nasty, dude. And it'll change a kid because it's just so miserable.
I had it really bad supposedly, but no, Lila would be. It's like they don't just cry. It's like they're in agony. Her face is red. Her arms will go out like that, and yeah, it's just brutal, And I remember one time I got home and the girls were babies and they were in the cribs crying, and I was looking for Kate and her car was in the driveway, and I finally go down to the basement. She's down there like in the fetal position in a sleeping bag, like crying, and she's got headphones on, like she was just like almost totally snapped.
Yeah, I do.
So
They can do it. Listen, I did twins, and it was tough because mine were on hour and a half different feeding schedules, and those dudes were oh, it was a tough 2 years,
yeah. All right,
but we
so
got through it.
what's Abby looking at there for? Uh, SC C limited. All right, let's take a look here. C limited. Yeah, I mean, I'd have this on the radar screen. I don't know if I would jump in there yet, but this is, this is what we look for. Things that look like they're going to move imminently. What is going to move imminently? Something that's overbought or oversold. That's at support or resistance. Now, the question is will this support break or will we see a rebound? And I know this sounds like a cop out, but we kind of got to wait. But my inclination would be it's probably going to break the support because we got this kind of quasi descending triangle pattern leading into it. And as we know, this shows that the buyers hang out. So the buyers are hanging out around 35.50 and the sellers are getting more and more aggressive. And you could see that by these lower highs. So a lot of times when you get to support and you wonder if it's going to break or not, you can if you get like a descending triangle type pattern leading into it, there's a pretty good chance it does. And then on the opposite side, if if you're getting to resistance and you want to know whether it's going to break or not, if you have an ascending triangle leading up to it, then that's a good sign that it's going to. But again, it's like nothing is perfect, nothing is a guarantee because if it was, everyone would do it. So it seems like everyone and their grandmother is talking about the Santa Claus rally, and I don't know, man. We'll see. Like I said, if you're long, you just stay long, but be ready for a quick reversal. All right, SC big gap. Yeah, now this is the big gap up here. So why would this gap refill? Well, one of the main reasons why we have resistance is because you have remorseful buyers trying to buy stuff back. I'm sorry, remorseful buyers trying to sell stuff at the same price they bought them at. So from here to here, there was no trading. So if we do rally and get back up there, there's a good chance that we make a really quick move back through here. But, that's still a little bit of ways here. I would be, we just got to see how this thing navigates this level here over the next few days. But if you're, depending on your trading style, there's a lot of tradable moves in here. And we come off this, right here, like 30, so that's a $2.50 move there. And then what's Baidu? What is that? BIDU?
Yeah, Baidu.
Baidu. All right, now to me, this kind of like I don't see anything here. To me, this looks like, it's in a trading range, and the momentum is neutral. So I don't know what if there's going to be news if these guys are due to release earnings or whatever.
It's a
But
Chinese company.
yeah, so they'll probably like infiltrating our society. Uh,
No, I think this is a food delivery service in China, but it's the numbers you don't really can't trust the numbers.
okay, so does that mean they deliver Chinese food?
Yes, I guess it would be a Chinese food delivery service.
Yeah, we get Chinese food every now and then. It's amazing? I don't know what it's like in other parts of the country, but every single place, a Chinese restaurant has the exact same egg rolls. They must buy them from the same place because you go to any Chinese restaurant in here, everything is a little bit different. Like the General Chow's chicken or Zhao, however you want to say it, it's a little bit
General
different, but
Chow.
those egg rolls are always the exact same. All right, IEP. What is that for Mr. Steven? Icon. Yeah, so this is
Same menus too. You're right, Maury.
I sent you those options things, Mira, this morning. All right, so let's take a look at this because this is an important thing to look at here. So yes, it does. Hey, obviously we've looked at this before. This company has been accused of fraud, and let's just see here. All right, so they're issuing notes, which basically means they're borrowing money. Um, let's see if we can find it. Icon. Basically, these people said is that these guys are running a pyramid scam. Let me see if I can find it. Jeffries adjust. All right, Icon Enterprises says U.S. SEC sought information. All right, so I guess it was in August. So I think it was this Hindenburg Research. Yeah, okay, so Hindenburg Research. So let's go look at that. And these guys uh, are short sellers. I mean, I don't know if they have a fund, but they publish research, and they look for things where they just think that people are lying or not being so truthful. Okay, here. Oh wow, that's way back in May. So this has been out for a longer time than I thought. So Icon Enterprises, the corporate raider throwing stones from his own glass house. Icon's latest disclosure raises critical new questions about margin losses and continued portfolio losses. So I would say that if there wasn't anything to this news, we would have seen some type of a reversal. And we kind of did there, but longer run, we're still trending lower. So there might be something to this news. But this is something that people would generally buy because it paid a high dividend. Billionaire car icons, free fall. Yeah, so it paid a high dividend, but what this Hindenburg research is alleging is that it's really just a Ponzi scheme. So if this thing really is a fraud and this thing really does come apart, I mean, Carl Icahn is a legend on
Yeah.
Wall Street, so this would be big news. I mean, he's not as maybe he's not as big as Bernie Madoff is, but this would be big news. This guy's a legendary guy. So I might be a little careful with this thing. I mean, I know the dividend is high, but they'd have to, there's a chance they don't pay it. If things are really as bad as they say over here, they might just come out and say, we can't pay our dividend, and then this stock would just collapse even more. So I would be just a little hesitant with this. If there was if I think if the news if there wasn't anything to it, we would have kept coming back here.
Yeah.
But what happened here? All right, so this is back in August. So the news was first launched here or announced here, and then what happened here in August? Um, August. Oh, you know what? Or I could probably find it. I go to the
Benzinger Pro.
Benzinger Pro because that's a really good. That's a really good news aggregation service. So let's
Just
see what it's called.
put in the stock ticker in your details up top, and you should be able to scroll down through the news articles on that stock symbol.
All right. IEP. Icon Enterprises. All right, so they priced 500 million in notes, which means they're borrowing money. So that could be not a good thing there. Bill Ackman's talking about it. Icon. Icon Enterprises responds to investor concerns with thoughtful adjustments. Jeffries maintains buy. Well, we know that research is kind of flawed.
Tainted.
Well, I mean, who knows? But I just think that it just seems like there's a little bit of risk in there.
Probably find it if you go down to May 1st, I think is when the day it came out.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Icon fires back. intended solely to generate profits. Yeah, so there's a lot going on here. I mean, I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but basically, what they do, he was kind of like an activist investor where he goes out and he finds companies that maybe there's some shady going on, maybe something isn't being run very well, buys enough that he can have maybe a seat at the board and he can influence it. So, like right here, he says, before all this news came out, it's unconscionable that the board of directors still entrusts the CEO with running our potentially great company, blah, 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 blah. So, what they're saying at Hindenburg is that, he's a complete hypocrite because he's doing the same thing that he accuses other people of doing. All right, so anyway, let's go.
Avi would like your response on the Yemeni issue with oil. Is it going to go down because they're blocking the Red Sea? You know,
Uh,
BP is already sending
yeah.
their ships around it.
Well, I think oil would probably, if it gets blocked off, or if they block the Suez Canal,
It's
it
going to
would
make the price
probably
go
make
up.
prices go higher
Yeah,
because there would be less demand. And now, because you're going to have to sell all the way down around the south of Africa, as opposed to going through there. And all well, I mean, I don't think it would be easy, but if some terrorist group blows up or and sinks a big oil tanker right in the middle of the Suez Canal, I mean, that could block traffic for a while.
a long time.
And these radical Islamic terrorists, they don't. In our culture, we cherish life, right? In their culture, they cherish death. It's a big difference.
They're
So they're all
Democrats.
about like, oh, the afterlife. Oh, if I go blow up this ship, I can go to heaven and have sex with 52 different virgins or whatever the hell it is.
72. It's 72.
Yeah, remember they blew up, what was it? The USS Cole? Was
Yeah,
that the name? Was it a destroyer?
yeah. It was a coal. It was
Yeah,
parked in Yemen when it happened. They drove that speedboat into the side of it and killed those two sailors.
I think more than two people died. I think it was like 18 or 19. I'm sure Mr. Steven would know. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're at a tinderbox here, and I think as long as stuff stays contained in Israel, as horrible as it is, I don't think it's really going to influence our markets. But if these guys go and attack Iran and or something else happens, it could spin out of control. And I just think it's really kind of. Now I have one of my like really good friends is this guy he's an Orthodox Jewish guy. He's like the nicest guy, and he's extraordinarily intelligent. I used to work with him. He graduated number two in the NYU law school class. But he was made the point. It's like, how come everyone's telling Israel to cease fire or hold up, but no one's but it's a humanitarian crisis and this that, but in Ukraine it's just like let's just throw more money at it and let's pretend it's not happening anymore.
Here's the real kicker for the whole Israeli Palestinian thing is that is the first thing that came out was Egypt says the Palestinians are not coming here, and the Jordanians were like, oh no, the Palestinians aren't coming here. So Israel, your choice, but you got to take restraint. You got to sit there and watch all these rockets come and blow your children up, man. Avi,
Yeah.
you guys should just flood the whole tunnel network and just be damned with all of it.
All right. So let's go see. Heading out over to St. Augustine. You will live on the sailboat. Hello, Heather. Um, yeah, yeah. Anyway, so it's something to watch. I mean, it could happen at any moment. I don't really know what to say, but a lot of wars start by accident. They shoot down the wrong plane, or by accident, or you get some rogue, whatever. And these terrorists, which is what they are, they're not rational. We can't really think like, it's like projection is a very common thing, right? And that's when people assume that other people think the way they do. This is something I've been explaining to my daughters, right? So if you're just say it's about ripping someone off. So if you're a good person, you might get ripped off by someone because you might think they're a good person and you think, oh, they wouldn't rip me off, they're a good person. So you're projecting that they're a good person. If they're a bad person, they might think, I'm going to rip this guy off, but I don't care because he's a bad person. So it's like, this projection is something that's kind of important. You have to realize that people don't think the way that you think.
Yeah.
So yeah, so yeah, I guess we just got to keep an eye on it. I mean, I guess you could start thinking about maybe some options on some of the oil companies, maybe some longer term, what we call a market neutral strategy in the options market, which is kind of a misnomer because a market neutral strategy sounds like you think the market's not going anywhere, and I don't know where the name came from, but the idea is you buy a call and a put, knowing that you're going to lose money on one and make money on the other. But the idea is you're going to make more money on the one that you make money on than you're going to lose money on the one you're going to lose money on. So that could be some like geopolitical thing there. Of course, if that happened, we'd probably see a big bounce in gold as well. So you could probably play. I don't like to say that word play, but because it sounds like we're playing. But you could probably get exposure in some of these other different little or these other areas of the market. So here's gold. It hasn't really done much. It's kind of flat. Really interesting here with you talk about a clear and precise level. Look at this 2085. So if this gets back up around there, I think I'd be looking for some kind of another move. Um,
So I just looked this up. There was 17 deaths plus the two attackers and 37 total injured, and it happened on October 12th of 2000.
yeah, so that shouldn't have been a real wake up call for the whole 9/11 thing,
Yes,
but
it should have been.
but unfortunately it wasn't. Invesco Energy Fund. Yeah, so this would move. Could be a way to get into it. Okay, volume 43,000 a share. All right. Anyway, I'm just going to see what's going on over here at Market Watch. Apple. Yeah, this isn't really doing anything. It is trading though right around this resistance level here. So it's basically right at it. So it's been getting sucked back into here like a kind of like a magnet. So just watch this for a potential reversal. And in a lot of ways, these companies didn't really participate in that big move up we had over the last couple of weeks. Like look at Microsoft. It's kind of just been going sideways
Mm-hmm.
in a range here. So this is what we call a trading range, right? And generally speaking, traders approach these things in two different ways. One is you sell. I guess I could just get rid of this line here. You trade the range, right? You sell if it gets towards the top of the range, or you buy puts, and then you buy when you get towards the bottom of the range. So that's one way. And then the other way is you wait for the breakout one way or the other. Because now we got the momentum equilibrium is neutral, but it's not going to stay neutral forever. It's going to switch one way or the other sooner or later. So that's the thought on that there. The Apple smartwatch recall. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really seem to be doing anything to the stock as of now. All right,
Probably
what
needs
else?
some time to sink in, Jax.
What's that?
I said it probably needs some time to sink into the traders. I think it just
Yeah,
came out
and
last night.
I mean, well, why are they even recalling it? I don't. I mean, I hate
I
Apple.
think I think they took some proprietary technology for the blood for your oxygenation in your blood. They use somebody else's technology for those Apple watches, so they're having to take it out or they're going to have to redo it. So I think it's they stole technology.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it's
So
saying.
if
That's what the
you're so
article
if you're
said last
wearing an
night.
Apple Watch, they can get your vital statistics.
Oh, dude, you didn't know that? They collect everything.
Yeah.
That health app is terrible. It collects your steps, how much you're eating, where you're walking, how much you ride your bike, when you did it, how you wake, how you sleep.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. Because eventually they're going to be able to figure out like, oh, well, this person's going to get cancer, or this person's going to get this, or this
They
person's going to
already
get
know
that.
that. There's people that probably already know that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I don't have. I mean, I have a phone because I need it because of my kids. Other than that, if it was just up to me, I wouldn't even have a cell phone. Mr. Steven bought one. Let's go see what else we got going on here. And it's like Google. Like no one talks about Google. How well? I mean, I guess people are starting to talk about what a friggin' monopoly it is. All right, communication services, trending up a little bit here.
You
This
kill
is
me,
mostly
Jack.
Google and Facebook. Oh, speaking of that, I saw. I don't know where I saw it. It was like Pornhub had every state what was the most searched word, and it's pretty damn funny, man. I mean, I don't think I'll bring it. Well, actually, this isn't my Benzinga class, so maybe I can bring it up.
That was good stuff.
All right, I got to bring it up now.
I hadn't had a laugh like that in a while. Thanks.
Let's see. Porn Hub. Oh, you know what? I should have put this in there because now if people see me doing a search,
Yeah.
they're going to think I'm going on
Yeah.
Pornhub. Okay. I guess I won't put that in there. Oh, man. Because I'll have to change my viewing history. Anyway, it just had and some of the stuff was pretty funny, man. Like from out, I mean, you just have to see it, like from out in the farm belt and so forth. All right, anyway, damn. So now people are going to see that. And they're going to think that I looked it up, right?
Oh, it's over now, Mark. You've been stigmatized.
All right, whatever. uh, let's see. All right, we talked about Southwest.
See, that's what's going to kill Apple is that it's happening during Christmas. That's going to be painful.
It's now online. All right, what else is going on here? Bipartisan oppositions grows to the Nippon takeover of U.S. Steel. And that explains why this isn't trading at a higher price. Because the deal is at $55 a cash. Nippon Steel made a bid to take these guys over. So the question is, why isn't trading at around 55? Why don't people just go in there and buy it all at 46 right now? Because eventually they'll get 55. But this shows you that the market is putting a little bit of a discount on it because they think the deal might not go through. So anything that says bipartisan. All right, so U.S. Steelmaker put itself on the block. So they're trying to sell. Yeah, today, critical piece of America's defense industrial base was auctioned off to foreigners for cash. I mean, that's true, right? If there ever was a war, it's like you need steel.
You have to have it.
Yeah, so.
There's some things that really should be American owned if they're going to be part of our national defense. And it's just that simple. Asinine. The whole thing is.
Yeah, well, we learned that in the COVID, how much of our medicine comes from China.
Yeah.
Like there's like 90% of our medicine is made in China.
Yeah. All the antibiotics, the stuff that saves us.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Anything else going on here that's exciting? Passive versus active investing. Passive investing is just you buy the index, right? You buy the ETF. And when markets are going up like they did for 10 years in a row, there's a lot of advocates for passive investing because this is easy. Oh, this is easy. The market's going up. All you got to do is show up. Active investing means you're actually trying to outperform the market. So when markets are going down, active investing becomes in vogue. When markets are going up for a long time, passive investing is in vogue. So the answer to this question is which one is better? The answer is probably, well, it depends where the market is in the cycle. So that's what this is. Now, for all that time, we've heard so much over the last 10 years of buy and hold, buy and hold, buy and hold. You can't outperform the market. You can't outperform the market. Buy and hold is the best strategy. Blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't agree with that. And it kind of shows a short-sightedness of people. Because if we look back here, this is the Dow Jones, right? If we go to all, you can see there's many times in our country's history where buy and hold would not have been a good strategy. If we come in here, for example, right in here, had you bought stocks in April of '66, you would have had to wait until December of '82 to make money. So that buy and hold wouldn't have worked. Yeah, so that's active versus passive investing. All right, let's go see if we got anything going on over here in the Wall Street Journal. Tesla, wannabes. Yeah, this whole EV thing is like kind of fizzling out.
I was looking at that bedroom. That's a sweet house.
Yeah, I wonder where it is. It's I was in Ron Howard's house when he lived in Greenwich. He's got a freaking he had an observatory. Obviously, he's got a movie theater. His son is a his son is one of the teaching pros at Greenwich Country Club, or at least they was. I mean, they moved. But my old boss used to live right next door to him. But yeah, that was a pretty styling place. But of course, you lay out $20 million for a house. You know, you expect it to be nice, I guess. Let's see what fuel cell is doing. Fuel Fuel Cell Energy, FCEL. Yeah, it's pretty funny. My old boss used to live in there. It's this place called Conyers Farm in Greenwich, and it's it
Mm-hmm.
used to be a farm where me and my friends actually used to go, and the teenagers used to go and drink there. It was this old broken down mansion, and it used to be like a 400-acre farm or whatever, and and they were someone had Obama in there for a fundraiser, and the Secret Service went to my former boss's house, who's like an ultra conservative, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we want to do a sweep of your house," and he's like, "Well, better get a warrant because I ain't letting you in without one." They just wanted to make sure there's like no snipers or anything.
Yeah.
So, all right, fuel cell. Wow, look at this. So this has become a penny stock. It's really amazing how it just shows you just the psychology and just how quickly it can change, right? So like what happened yesterday that made this thing lose 4% of its value? I mean, I guess you could argue, well, they reported, but most moves are just because of your changes in investor sentiment and investor emotion.
A lot of these like high flyers, and they start off high flyers. You could basically buy puts on that thing for a year out and just cash your money out. A lot of them
Pretty
just fall
much.
apart within a year.
Pretty much. I mean, another craze will come along. I mean, I've seen him, I've seen him in the like around 2012. Everything was nanotechnology. All those stocks skyrocketed and then they all collapsed. Then it was the cannabis craze. Those stocks all skyrocketed and they've all collapsed. And it's just something that goes on through our history. It's a part of the cycle. It's what we call saliency bias. People say this time it's different. If people didn't think that, there wouldn't really be, you wouldn't have crashes. But people aren't like that. And I guess in a way it's good that we have crashes because if you get ahead of it and you go short on stuff or you buy puts or inverse ETFs, you could end up making a lot of money. It's some people fear bear markets, but as traders, we really shouldn't because markets tend to go down faster than they go up. So a lot of times could be quicker money can be made on the downside of the market. So if we're just like day trading or have a short-term strategy, we don't really need to know what's going on in the future or make predictions. And a lot of people, it's fun to make predictions. Like pretty soon Jax is going to owe me some money because we bet on this thing, right? Getting close,
It's
Jax.
getting
We ain't there
close.
yet. Let's see, what was the highest trade that we've had? 473.73. But I don't know. At this point, it's looking like we could get there. But regardless. What about ARM? Going to be a penny stock.
Not ARM.
ARM Holdings? Oh, yeah. Probably one day.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is a real company or if this is just hype. Let's see if they actually earn money. That's one thing to look at here. Earnings. Yeah, so these guys are actually earning money, right? You see how they earned 36 cents a share last quarter. Uh, when you look at that, all those cannabis companies in that bubble, or all the nano stocks in that bubble, or a lot of the internet stocks in that bubble, these companies weren't making any money. So there's a difference between this one and those guys. Are you sure about that? No, I'm not sure about anything anymore except death and taxes. All right. Let me know if you guys have any more questions, and if not, I'm going to hit the road. But we should be back
Oh,
tomorrow.
and the Dolphins defense. We're pretty sure about that.
What's that?
The Dolphins defense.
That they're good or bad?
They're good.
Oh boy, the mammals. Is Tyreek Hill coming back next week?
I don't
Oh,
know.
he'll
His
be back
ankle
for the
was bad.
playoffs.
I hope he does. I mean, I'm sure he will. I was kind of happy, man. The guy that I was playing in fantasy had Tyreek Hill, and he's kicked me every time this year because he had him. And then Tyreek didn't play this week, and I mashed him into the dirt.
Yeah,
We're in
this
the
is a good
playoffs.
example here of how we get to this resistance, and then we get a pretty meaningful sell-off. And there's a lot of lessons here, right? You can see we got our fast move up, and then the fast move down, fast move up, fast move down, and the same thing happened here. You know, when you get these really fast moves ripping through price levels, or when you gap through these levels, a lot of vested interest just doesn't have time to form. So if we eventually reverse and come back going the other way, there's a good chance that we rip back through those levels quickly.
He's just telling us how good the Dolphins D is, Mark. Don't worry about
Oh, okay. I was about to look up DOLP. Let's see if that's a stock anyway. Dolphin Entertainment.
it. Oh, yeah.
There's a penny stock for you. All right, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow.
Have a wonderful day, guys. Enjoy it, and get out there and make some money, huh?